And hello there. My name is Strike Alpha, and I'm here casting my friend TDK or TKD Nova's game. He's going to be playing Yasuo on the red team with Gnar, Lee Sin, Caitlyn, and Morgana. They're going to be playing against a Heimerdinger, Shyvana, LeBlanc, Kai'Sa, and Thresh. So, just starting off looking at these team comps, it's starting to reflect a little bit of a change in the meta, I think. It's actually been pretty interesting just because it looks like some tanks are starting to come back. I know that Riot mentioned that there's a pretty decent chance that they're about to buff tanks a little bit, so I imagine that specific champions are about to come back into the meta, and it looks like some people might potentially be getting a head start on those changes. That being said, we have a really defensive team comp in terms of the blue team. Heimerdinger and Kai'Sa a little bit. And it looks like the first blood's going to be going down to this Kai'Sa. She's going to go ahead and try and heal. Oh no, Caitlyn's going to try and heal, trying to save her support, but that's not going to happen. Caitlyn's actually taking quite a bit of damage. All it really takes is one hook like that, and that's pretty much the end of her. Good job on Thresh. But yeah, the blue team has a pretty defensive team composition. They have the capacity to get picks, but it's not really something that they're going to be looking for. Heimerdinger really doesn't encourage that type of team behavior. So I think we'll see a lot more of a show. Good job on LeBlanc. I'm going to say just doing a basic combo, very chill, not super outplay or not super off the wall, just pretty standard. But yeah, I expect the blue team to look more towards trying to get their mid game going. Meanwhile, the red team, they kind of have a little bit of a conflicting team type too, but it's not as profound or pronounced for that matter as the blue team. Heimerdinger might not have wanted to come that far, but Shyvana is there to help. This should be an actual kill for her. Lee Sin's going to burn his flash, and it looks like Gnar's going to get taken down for the double kill on Shyvana. So yeah, it's not necessarily looking that great for the red team starting off, but sometimes things are a little slow. And we got the hook coming in from Thresh, and Caitlyn might have went the wrong direction, and that's going to be a kill for this Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's going to run around those traps. Morgana's number is pretty much taken, and that is going to be the end of her as well. 7-0 start for the blue team within within 4 minutes. That's definitely not a great sign, and it looks like it might be a few more, but nope. I say that's going to be the end of that. But yeah, blue team or red team is going to be looking for that mid game because they have a front line in terms of Gnar, Lee Sin, and Yasuo. Morgana is also kind of going to be in the front line too, trying to hold down people, but she's mainly going to be used for peeling Caitlyn. In my personal opinion, Caitlyn would do better with more tanks on the team comp, and the hook goes through the field goal as well as the dark binding, and Kai'Sa's doing a little bit of damage, able to get that 5 stack off on Caitlyn. Meanwhile, we got Lee Sin trying to get this kill, but it's not going to happen. LeBlanc's going to get out of that fairly safely. But yeah, Caitlyn's going to want more tanks in front of her, mainly to keep everyone kind of focused on those guys. So I don't know how well the Caitlyn pick's going to be, even though she got a new skin and she might be flavor of the month a little bit because of it. It's still not necessarily a good time to pick up Caitlyn, in my opinion, based off the current meta. So now that we've talked a little bit about how I see some of these team comps, and we got another hook by Thresh, we got the flay Kai'Sa's doing a little bit of damage, but it looks like that should be perfectly fine for her. Meanwhile, in mid, Yasuo is running for his life with just a sliver of HP. And doesn't look like things are going so well for Gnar here. He's getting beat down pretty badly, and the missile barrage comes through. Rocket barrage? Should probably check that later, but that comes through, and now we have a dead Gnar. Now it is currently 8-0. 6 minutes in. We got Lee Sin coming through for the gank, though. He misses that Q, and that should be the end of one of them, because it looks like Caitlyn got caught. She got flayed. She flashes out, and that's going to be the end of Caitlyn. You say another kill for Kai'Sa. Meanwhile, Lee Sin finally gets his first kill for the red team. All it takes is one person to hit him, but that should be it. It's a very close call for the Lee Sin, but it is at least a move in the right direction for the red team. Right now, it looks like all of the lanes are currently losing, so he has to kind of help them get a little more back on path in terms of trying to get this win. Meanwhile, it looks like Gnar is taking way too much damage from this turret. It doesn't take much, and the auto attack comes through and gets that kill on Gnar. Meanwhile, Shyvana gets hit with that dark binding under tower. She gets taken down. Lee Sin's running for his life. All it takes is yeah, blue buff. You don't play with blue buff. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about these lane matchups. Right now we have a Heimerdinger versus Gnar up top. That's and that's definitely not going well for the Gnar. He has the ability to hit those turrets at long range, but for right now, he definitely is not the champion to go after the advantages that Heimerdinger kind of brings in terms of safety in lane. Got another hook coming through, but that is going to miss. So Heimerdinger definitely has a strong advantage. Right now he's doing fairly well. He's 2-0-2 with 48 CS over Gnar's 35 and being 0-3-0. Let's say the gold advantage turns into about a 11k gold advantage right now for the Heimerdinger. Quite a bit of difference in terms of that. Now we got Lee Sin and Yasuo going after these two. I think he went after, or Yasuo. Lee Sin went after the wrong LeBlanc, and now LeBlanc is on her way out of this whole situation. Meanwhile, Morgana tries to stop the dragon, but it doesn't look like that's going to necessarily happen. Blue team's going to go ahead and take that dragon as well as get the kill on Morgana. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's definitely not in a good position either, taking quite a bit of damage from the Shyvana, but this might be the end of... Nope, this might be the end of Kai'Sa. Nope, it's not the end of Kai'Sa. It's the end of Caitlyn. And so good job on trading that aggro with each other to try and make that, or not to try and make that, but to make that situation more beneficial for the blue team. Meanwhile, up top, Gnar again is taking quite a bit of poke from these Heimerdinger turrets. It doesn't really take too much for Heimerdinger to kind of get things going again, so it looks like he's going to need some help. The problem is he's kind of fed a little bit. So at this point, it's kind of dangerous for Heimerdinger, or kind of dangerous for Lee Sin to try and gank. It looks like they still are trying to make a move towards him, but as long as he has those turrets, it's going to be pretty difficult. We got the roundhouse kick. Whoa, the wombo combo coming in from the Lee Sin and the Gnar. Good stuff on there. Able to knock him away from his turrets, get him under the red outer top turret as well, and looks like this might be the end of Lee Sin. That's a quick kill for LeBlanc, but good move on those guys, essentially repositioning Heimerdinger as far away from his towers as possible. I'm not even sure what happened up top. That didn't necessarily seem like that made all that much sense in terms of his behavior, but at least in bot we got a kill going over to Caitlyn, or nope, it went over to Morgana. I mean, it helps with the whole bot lane dynamic, but at the same time, it's still... Caitlyn's not really in a great position right now. She's 0-4-2 against this Kai'Sa, who is 6-2-1. Yeah. So, as for the top lane matchup, I think Heimerdinger should continue to keep winning that fight. I mean, as long as you don't have a Lee Sin doing a roundhouse kick and a Gnar essentially slamming him back. And that's the end of Lee Sin. And so LeBlanc just going ahead and invading real quick. Looks like also the blue team should be getting this first tower. We're saying Heimerdinger continuously keeping that lane pushed up thanks to his turrets. And now it looks like Gnar is running for his life a little bit, taking quite a bit of damage from those rockets, but that is it. So yeah, next matchup is going to be Shyvana versus Lee Sin. This rank is pretty interesting, and it looks like we got a setup here. And Thresh throws down that box. Oh, and unfortunately that doesn't. Oh wow. Okay, Kai'Sa's doing quite a bit of damage. She has that Rage Blade. She's able to essentially burn down any person she wants to talk or fight at this point. She's only 12 minutes in, so this is pretty scary for her. And we got Lee Sin going after Heimerdinger. I don't know if he'll be able to get it. Heimerdinger is too far away from his turret for him to continuously take damage, but yep, that is it. That's the end of Heimerdinger. Meanwhile, Morgana's going to be running a little bit. The Ignite goes off, and Thresh is going to be able to secure that kill. Caitlyn's coming back to lane to try and stop him. Meanwhile, Shyvana's coming after Lee Sin, and a burst of fire comes forth, and that is the end of Lee Sin. Meanwhile, LeBlanc flashes in, gets that kill on that Yasuo, and this is definitely a blue team game right now. We're going to say definitely not. There isn't too much that the red team can do right now other than try and pick off members of the blue team to try and make it back. They are currently down 8k gold within the 13-minute mark. So quite a bit going down. We got the Rift Hero coming down on mid. Blue team's going to be pushing a little bit on that. So Rift Hero is going to go down, but now the blue team is here to kind of finish off the turret. It's only a matter of time before that happens as a result. But yeah, the red team, you have Shyvana and Lee Sin. Shyvana hasn't necessarily needed to do all that much in terms of impacting this early game. However, she has played a bit of a part in that. Doing pretty well in terms of CS right now. She's currently at 90 versus Lee Sin's 45, and that is another smooth kill by the Kai'Sa. And so blue team pushing out this mid tower, and not much that the red team can do in terms of keeping this from happening. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come down to red team starting to get some picks on these blue team members. Like right now would be a good time to get a pick, because Kai'Sa is alone, and she is fairly strong right now, running at around 8-3-2 with about a 3k gold advantage over the Kai'Sa, or over the Caitlyn. Definitely someone that should be a main target of the red team. It looks like they're starting to make some moves here, and although they're trying to, Shyvana is here now, so it's up to these guys to get these kills. And now Lee Sin has another kill for his team. Again, it's going to be those picks that will help get the get the red team back in, because right now they are 10k gold down, and that's another kill for LeBlanc. I'm going to say things are not looking so great for the red team, but again, picks, objectives, stay focused in the game, and anything is possible. People do throw. Not really sure why Lee Sin went in, but he's going to go down too. I guess I'll try to finish these lane matchups. Shyvana's been doing pretty good in terms of just kind of doing her own thing, laying back. She's going to be really good in these team fights moving forward, just because of the construction of how she kind of does things with her ult. But it's a question of whether or not... Oh, and the box goes down. Thresh trying to stop these guys as much as he possibly can. He drags Yasuo into that wall. but he's going to be left to die. He flashes, and unless Shyvana blocks, she does block. That might be the end of Thresh still, because he hooks that Gnar, and as a result, Shyvana's unable to push him away. That's going to be 2 kills for the red team. 1 kill for Yasuo, 1 kill for Gnar. So, with that, it's probably a good sign. Caitlyn taking quite a bit of damage. She gets hit with the CC, so Kai'Sa's able to boost in. And now, as a result of that, Gnar is trying to run for his life. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it, though. He's trying his best, but this is pretty dangerous for him. It doesn't really take too much to actually get that kill like that. And we got 1 and 2, and there is the legendary status for the LeBlanc. 16 minutes into the game, and now we got the dark chains coming down, and quite a bit of damage came down on the Kai'Sa, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. I'm going to say not much Morgana can do about that. I'm going to say especially when the rest of the blue team comes in to try and help out the Kai'Sa. Meanwhile, Lee Sin is going to try and start a fight with Shyvana again. He's able to safeguard out of that fight, but yeah, not going great. Now the rockets came through from the Heimerdinger. I don't know if this is again another great move. Safeguard again out of the range of Heimerdinger, but the rockets came through, the Hex rockets, and that is gonna be the end of Lee Sin. Now we got another tower going down in bot lane. Things are again slowly falling more and more apart. Right now we got Thresh trying to get these kills on this red team. Kai'Sa's trying her part, but now Shyvana goes ahead, she jumps in, and she's not going to get the kill. It's going to be LeBlanc who gets that kill. Things looks like Yasuo's going to keep pushing out top a little bit. That's not that great, but I mean, not much he can do in terms of stopping these guys from getting this inhib, so it's probably good for him in terms of at least trying to get some other objective on the side. Although now I think he might need to come back, because right now his team is fighting. I'm going to say Thresh throws down the box, and Gnar is going to go down. We're going to say Gnar and Morgana are going to go down. Thresh is going to go down to the Caitlyn, but in that process, and meanwhile Lee Sin has came back, he throws out the resonating strike and misses, but the shot comes in from Caitlyn and takes down the Shyvana. I'm going to say, but Heimerdinger doesn't think that he wants to go back anytime soon. Meanwhile, Yasuo is trying to run for his life. He knows that if that LeBlanc catches him one more time, it's pretty much going to be the end of everything that he's trying to accomplish right now. He's trying to run around, give Caitlyn, or not give Caitlyn, give LeBlanc a little bit of difficulty in terms of catching him. He should be able to do pretty well right now because he's running back towards the blue side. Let's, in fact, try to follow that chase a little bit if I can figure out the keys. He's running for his life. LeBlanc is right behind him. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's going to get a kill on this Kai'Sa, and Kai'Sa is also going to go down to Morgana. Looks like Yasuo should be able to make it out at this point. However, LeBlanc still has not given up. She's so close, but it looks like they're finally going to go ahead and back out. All right. Yasuo kept LeBlanc away from that fight long enough for the blue team to try and make, the red team to try and make something out of it. Meanwhile, it looks like Yasuo's on fire a little bit, but he needs to just run a little bit further. He's almost there. He's almost back to his base. If he's able to make it back to his base, his team might be able to help. I'm going to say we got the move speed and nice wind wall by the Yasuo, and now Shyvana's taking a lot of damage. The chains come down. Is this going to be it? It's going to be it. There's a snipe coming through from the Shyvana. Meanwhile, LeBlanc is going to go ahead and pick off Lee Sin. Not really sure where Lee Sin went down, but it definitely wasn't a good choice of his to kind of be in a position where he could be found out and immediately assassinated just that quick. but at this point, it does kind of feel like the blue team, there he is, feels like the blue team definitely kind of owns this map right now. Currently rolling around 32 kills to the red team's 14, and gold-wise, blue team is around 4,400 gold, while red team is at around 32.5k gold. Hook comes down. Gnar is going to be the one getting hooked. He's going to go ahead and transform, but it doesn't look like the blue team is going to fight it out just any longer. So there's a trap in waiting for the red team. However, it looks like Thresh is supposed to be the bait for this. The hook goes down, and this might be the end of a few red team members. Thresh is going after Gnar, but Gnar is going to get taken down by by LeBlanc. Kaisa is going to get the kill on Morgana, and LeBlanc is going to get the kill on Lee Sin. This, in all honesty, should be game. It's around 30 seconds before the next champions are revived. Lots of damage coming down from this LeBlanc. That's going to make her 14-0-1. This is like super terrifying for me, because LeBlanc's getting this fit with a lot of the ADCs that I have means that there's a lot of dead ADCs, but in this situation it looks like there's just a lot of dead champions in general. All it takes is one rotation of a combo, and that is the end of a champion. And it looks like the blue team, after Kaisa gets a kill on this Gnar, looks like the blue team is going to be taking this victory. Pretty decisive. It's a good game, everybody. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and give the player of the game to kind of LeBlanc. She kind of made herself get fed, and as a result, anywhere she went, she was essentially death. So she did quite a bit there in terms of that. Although I'm not gonna lie, Heimerdinger did cause a lot of effort to be placed on him, and it kind of negated Gnar as a tank. By doing that, it made it easier for LeBlanc to go ahead and take out those targets, because essentially everyone was squishy. So this combination of those two, that's some pretty terrifying stuff. Anyway, I'd like to thank my friend again, Tkdnova, for allowing me to cast their game. I can't wait to see you guys next time. And again, if you are interested in me shoutcasting one of your games, please don't hesitate to add me on the League client. My name is Strike Alpha, and I can't wait to see all of you next time.